Right, hiya. I don't need to say long time no see anymore. This is the first time in a while where I haven't gone that long without a video. So I made two videos recently about dating as an asexual. So if you haven't checked those out, I'll leave a link to both of them in the description. It's quite interesting to see the results. I signed up to three dating apps, three of the most popular dating apps as an asexual. So it'll be interesting to see the results if you haven't already. So in this video, I'm going to stick with the asexual topic. It's basically what my channel's all about, so there's no escaping it, which is quite a good thing. Yeah, I don't mind talking about it. It's quite good to spread awareness. This is the whole point of my channel. I don't get paid for any of this. It's literally just to openly talk to some of you and form this community and make it even stronger. So what I wanted to talk about today is how my view of asexuality has changed in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years or so. If you've been around my channel since it started, so that's 6 years ago. How crazy is that? In July of 2015. So it's June of 2021 now. So yeah, it's almost exactly 6 years since I started my channel. Wowie, that's a long time. But you would see that I've changed a lot, not just maybe in appearance. I've got a beard now that's not even a proper beard, but we'll go with it. And so I've got obviously 6 years older, more mature. And a lot more confidence speaking to a camera. I don't have a script or anything, I'm just speaking like this, and yeah, you can tell there's a lot more confidence in my voice than it was 6 years ago. Not only that, but my view of asexuality has changed. One of my most popular videos, which I'm embarrassed about that it's my most popular video, is struggles with being asexual. Although the video offers a lot of truth, and it offers a lot of still my personal beliefs now of the difficulties of being asexual. I hated how critical I was of being this way, and even myself as an asexual was basically like subordinating asexuality back then, saying it's like, oh, it's horrible to be this way, like it's wrong or something like this, wishing I was something different. And that's not the message I want to portray at all, because I'm here to spread awareness that this is a real thing, that sort of people need to care about it a lot more. People need to understand it a lot more. And how can I do that when I was, a few years ago, when I was always criticizing it and wishing I was heterosexual, wishing I wasn't asexual. And this is something I reflect on and look back on and think, Alex, you idiot. Like, it's a lack of understanding myself and a lack of maturity. And just not understanding even asexuality fully myself. I'll explain why, and I'll explain why I've changed. I'm a lot more proud of my sexuality now, that goes without saying. I think somebody commented on my last video saying, wow, Alex, like, you've changed so much about the way you speak about your sexuality, and you just seem much more happier in your own skin. And it's really true when it comes to this. And again, I'll get into why. So a big reason why I wanted to change, and probably why some of you that commented on my videos, especially the struggles being asexual one, it's my most viewed video, so many people comment to this day saying, yeah, I finally found someone who feels like I feel, that hates being this way, that really wants to change it. And I understand that. Like, I went through that exact same thing, and I think a lot of the problem is, I can't generalize this, but a lot of the problem for me was because I focused too much on the perception of other people and society in this sense. Instead of saying like, oh no, they need to change to sort of be more accepting of me, I wanted to change in order to be more accepting of them. So because asexuality was preventing me from maybe having a long-term relationship in this sense, because I wouldn't have sex with them, or I just didn't want to because of the way I am, and because I didn't have the same sexual attraction that maybe my partner did, or potential partners when I went on dates and stuff like that. And because, I sort of lost friends, because not, necessarily lost friends, but that we definitely lost contact because they just weren't understanding of it. They just didn't sort of accept it. And because I was this weird friend to them that was different, and because there was just such a lack of awareness of asexuality, I started blaming my sexuality, because not blaming them, because I thought, oh, everybody's saying this, so they must all be right. I'm this minority I wish I was different. So I sort of said, oh, I hate being like this, right? Rather than, oh, I hate them for acting like this. My perception was completely wrong. Because if I'm honest with it, like, if I look at the asexual community and the other people that are asexual, everyone is lovely. Like, everyone. If you go over my channel, you will really struggle to find a negative comment. Really struggle. Like, every single video, everyone is really lovely, everyone's really supportive, everyone's really kind, everyone's really respectful. And this is something I've enjoyed for my whole 6 years on YouTube. There's never been a time where I've once thought, okay, I'm going to stop doing my channel now because I'm getting too much hate or there's getting too much disregarding it. I've done some crazy videos. I've done some super personal videos. I've, talked about really personal habits of mine, like masturbation. I've watched porn in front of the camera. Obviously, I didn't show the porn, but you can see my reaction live on camera. And I've published this to the world. Why? Because everyone's so kind about it. There's no messages of like, oh, this is hilarious, like, let's laugh at this guy who's reacting like this. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I have completely the same reaction. Thanks for sharing this with me. I'm glad I'm not alone. Like, where do you get this from? Where do you get this sense of community from anywhere, any other community in the world? There just isn't any. There just isn't. And I've had this same sort of respect and same sort of support right from the start. And it's why I continued for 6 years and I'm still going now, because there's never been a point where I felt let down or disappointed in the ace community. I felt nothing but love for it. It's why I can wear this ring now and feel just really confident walking around. That's why I wear a asexual flag on my necklace and just feel confident explaining to people what it is now, because this community is so cool to be part of. And it's what a huge perk of being ace and being asexual. And like, even though we're all different amongst the asexual community, it's this huge spectrum where people are, couldn't be more different from one another to some degree. There is still this one sense of unity, is that we're all a minority in this society that sort of subordinates us, and we can really relate to one another, and we feel empowered off that, and we can really resonate with one another, and it's so lovely. It's so lovely, and this overpowers anything that I've had before that neglects asexuality and stuff like that, and I feel so much more proud as a result because of this. Another thing is, not just these people, and I don't blame these people for, sort of disregarding asexuality and sort of saying, what is this, or not having an understanding. Again, this is something that society needs to sort of do a better job of spreading awareness of. The same with a lot of minorities, not just in sexuality, but in terms of ethnicity and race and cultures and everything like that. And the news even, like the things that we hear on the news is just such a small snippet of reality, and you don't hear about things that happen in cultures that are so let down in comparison to your own. I hear much more about English culture than I do anyone else, where there's wars going on between Russia and Ukraine, for example. I didn't know any of this existed until I moved to Poland last year. This war's been going on since 2014. Like, it is, again, it's just society just does a really poor job in incorporating everyone and sort of trying to, ensure that everyone is heard in this sense. And it's the same. My whole dissertation in my last year of uni was how the education system doesn't teach you any of this. In secondary education, all I learned about was heterosexuality. In biology, in science in general, they teach you that you're going to go through puberty, you're going to like the opposite sex, you're going to want to have a family, etc. like this. There's no one point where they say, oh, you may not like sex, or something like this. And because you're taught this in school, I mean, you're not going to say to your maths teacher, nah, 2 + 2 isn't 4, it's 5. You're not going to argue with them. So why would students be expected to do the same? If I spoke up in biology saying, actually, what you're telling us is wrong, there are people, I would be disregarded and told to leave the classroom. So it's just one of those things. Things need to change in society in this sense. So often also, you see on official sites, you see on news sites that try and understand asexuality, and the way they go about describing it is so demeaning without even realizing it. Think of a common phrase that you often associate with asexuality. You hear it as asexuality is a lack of sexual attraction, right? So you hear a lot. It sounds really normal, right? A lack of sex. You hear this all the time. And if you type in asexuality is a lack of sexual attraction, you will see this as a definition a lot. Think of this word lack. Think of it. If you attribute it to anything else, right? If you have a lack of money, if you have a lack of interest in something, if you have a lack of food, it means you want this. You require this thing that you have a lack of. So at the moment I've got a lack of money, so I can't pay my bills. You would want this money, right? So you could pay your bills. If you have a lack of food, it means that you don't have enough food, but you want more food. So why do they say that asexuality is a lack of sexual desire? As in, we want this sexual desire, but we don't have it. Or we require this sexual attraction. This, again, just threw me off course in the past and thought, that's right, I'm broken. I'm broken because I don't have any sexual attraction. Where it's got nothing to do with being broken, nothing at all. We're completely natural in this sense. It's a completely legitimate. You wouldn't go up to someone that who's now homosexual, for example, and say like you're wrong, like you've got a lack of heterosexual desire or something like this. You wouldn't ever say homosexuals are a lack of heterosexual desire or something like this. It's just seen as wrong, right? It would just sound, wow, it's not very nice, it's really offensive. So why is it all right to say we've got a lack of sexual desire as asexuals? It doesn't make any sense. Again, I'm a bit rambling. I don't have a script for this. I'm just speaking my mind. So this video is a bit all over the place. But hopefully I've justified why my view has changed. There's not something wrong with us. It's not something wrong with me. It's not something wrong with you watching this who maybe thinks that you're wrong for being asexual or you wish you were different. You are part of an amazing community, the best community, honestly. And I know that's cheesy and generic to say as an asexual YouTuber on here that's had this support. But trust me, even if you're just a viewer of this channel, if you wrote a comment or if you reached out to other people through my channel, you would get a reply. You would get people wanting to know you, to be your friend. It's such a nice community in this sense. And I've never experienced anything like that. If I wasn't asexual, I wouldn't have this channel. I wouldn't have made friends through this channel that I still keep in touch with over all of these years. About 2 years into my channel, I used to have live streams and we met up as groups of people, and it was just such close-knit sort of family, as it were. We'd have calls every single evening that would last until the sun came up in the morning, my time, because a lot of my viewers are American viewers. And even some of them form their own channel together. You don't get that anywhere else. You just don't. So it's just such a lovely community, honestly. Be proud of who you are, because you should, like me, hopefully change to show off like that you've got an asexual ring if you want to, or a necklace like this. It's really cool. And please be strong if you are this, because I understand there are difficulties. Believe me, I know there are difficulties. But you're not alone in this. You've got people here that are part of the ace community that will understand the struggles, but also be here to support you and be your friend ultimately, and offer you cake even at times. So thanks for watching. Reach out to me if you are struggling. I'll link my socials in the description as per usual. Always feel free to message me. Like seriously, people message me saying, you must get a ton of these messages. I'm surprised that you're replying so quickly. I don't get as many as you think, so I will reply to your message. If you reach out to me on Instagram or Snapchat, honestly, I will reply to your message. So don't ever worry that you're bombarding me with other people, because you're not. I don't have 1 million subscribers. You will get through to me and I will respond. So thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you very soon.